The worst part wasn't that he saw it. It wasn't even that he read it. It was the way he looked at me after. Because in that moment, I knew. Not thought. Not feared. Knew. Everything was over. It didn't happen during a fight. It didn't happen during some dramatic confrontation. It happened on a normal night. That's what makes it stay with me. Because if something had already been wrong, if we had been arguing, if things had been falling apart, I could have blamed it on that. But we weren't. We were fine. Or at least, I thought we were. We were sitting on the couch, close but not really touching, watching something neither of us was paying attention to. The TV filled the silence the way it had been doing more and more lately. Ethan had my phone. That wasn't unusual. We didn't have strict rules about that kind of thing. We knew each other's passwords. We trusted each other, or at least, he trusted me. I'm just going to look something up, he said absently, already unlocking it. Yeah, go ahead, I replied, not even thinking. That was my first mistake. Because if I had thought about it, even for a second, I would have remembered. The messages, the conversation I hadn't closed, the one I told myself I'd deal with later. But I didn't think about it. And by the time I did, it was too late. Hey, Ethan said. Just one word. But something about it made my chest tighten instantly. Yeah? I asked, turning slightly toward him. What's this? I felt it before I saw it. That drop in my stomach. That sudden, sharp awareness. And then I looked. The screen was open. The conversation was right there. No hiding it, no minimizing it. Every message, every word. Exposed. My chest tightened so fast it almost hurt. Ethan, I started. But I didn't know what I was going to say. Because there wasn't anything to say. Not anything that would fix this. He didn't look at me right away. He kept reading, scrolling slowly, carefully, like he was trying to understand it all. And I sat there, completely still. Because I knew the longer he read, the worse it got. It's not what it looks like, I said anyway. The words felt automatic, empty. Even as I said them, I knew how they sounded. Ethan let out a quiet breath. Not angry, not loud, just tired. Then finally, he looked up at me, and everything inside me dropped. Because there was no anger in his eyes, no yelling, no shock. Just something else. Something I wasn't ready for. Understanding. Like he had just put something together. Like he had suspected it. And now he had proof. How long? He asked. His voice was calm. Steady. Too steady. What? I said, even though I knew exactly what he meant. How long has this been going on? My mind started racing. Not because I didn't know the answer, but because I didn't know which answer would hurt less. The truth? Or another lie? Not long, I said quietly. The second it left my mouth, I regretted it, because I could see it in his face. That small shift, like something inside him just clicked. Don't do that, he said. Not loud, not harsh, but firm. Don't lie to me now. Silence filled the room. Heavy. Because he wasn't asking anymore. He was giving me one last chance, and I knew it. 3 months, I said. The truth felt heavier than I expected. Like saying it out loud made it permanent. Ethan nodded slowly. Not surprised. Like he had already guessed. Who is he? He asked. I hesitated. Not because I didn't want to tell him, but because saying his name felt like crossing another line. Like making it more real than it already was. Ryan, I said finally. Ethan's expression didn't change, but something about the way he looked at me did. "And what is this?" he asked, lifting the phone slightly. I looked at the screen, at the messages, at the version of myself I had been in those conversations. I barely recognized her. "I don't know," I said. And for the first time, that wasn't a lie. Because whatever I thought it was, it didn't feel like enough anymore. Ethan studied me for a long moment. And then he said something I wasn't expecting. I thought I was imagining it. My chest tightened. "What?" I asked. "The distance," he said. "The way you've been." I looked down. I kept telling myself it was nothing, he continued, that I was overthinking it. Every word hit harder than the last. But I guess I wasn't. That silence that followed, it wasn't empty. It was full of everything that had been building without me noticing. "I didn't mean for it to happen," I said quietly. And I meant it. At least, I thought I did. Because it hadn't started like this. It had started small. A conversation. A connection. Something that felt easy. Something that didn't feel like it mattered. Until it did. Ethan let out a small breath. "No one ever does," he said. And that was it. No yelling, no accusations, just acceptance. And somehow, that was worse, because it meant he had already decided. "What happens now?" I asked. My voice felt smaller than I expected, like I already knew the answer. Ethan didn't respond right away. He just looked at me. And for a second, I saw it. The version of him that might have stayed. The version that might have tried. But it disappeared just as quickly. "I don't think there's anything left to fix," he said. And just like that, it was over. The next few days felt unreal. Ethan didn't argue, didn't bring it up again. He just pulled away. Quietly, like he had already accepted it. He started sleeping in the guest room, stopped texting me during the day, stopped asking how I was, stopped looking at me the same way. And that's when it really hit me. I would have rather he was angry. Because anger means something is still there. But this felt like nothing. A week later, he packed a bag. Not everything, just enough. "I'm going to stay with my brother for a while," he said. I nodded, because I didn't know what else to do. And then he left. No fight? No goodbye. Just gone. Ryan tried to reach out after that, more than once. But I didn't respond, because whatever I thought I wanted, it didn't feel worth it anymore. Not after seeing what it cost. And in the end, that's what stayed with me. Not the messages, not the lies, but that moment. The moment he looked at me after reading it. Because in that one look, I saw everything. What I had done. What I had lost. And the exact second it was all over,